Attacked mosque in China. Clashes between Hui Muslims and the Chinese police occurred on May 27th. Now, these Muslim groups in China clashed with police as they tried to stop the demolition of a domed roof from a centuries-old mosque. The police troops surrendered Hui Muslims who were preventing Najiyang Mosque from demolition in Yunnan of China. All communication, including internet, is down there, which normally indicates of the beginning of crackdowns. Now, this comes after the Chinese authorities tried to demolish the Najiyang Mosque in Tonghai County of the Yunnan province, and the Chinese regime mobilized its police and military forces to suppress and detain the Muslims who resisted the demolition of their mosque. The Najiyang Mosque is a historic mosque that was built during the Ming dynasty, and local authorities included the mosque in its list of demolition in 2020, alleging that the mosque had illegally occupied lands. The Islamophobic sentiment against Islam and Muslims that rose in recent years in China has developed to an alarming rate nowadays, and we are getting these reports of clashes that took place between the Hui Muslims and the Chinese police on May 27th. Now, remember, these Hui Muslims were trying to stop the demolition of a mosque in the Yunnan province of China. CNN News 18's Anand Narsimhan is joining us on this story. Anand, a very good morning to you. Could you give us more details about these clashes that took place in China between the Hui Muslims and the Chinese police, in which the Hui Muslims were trying to stop the police from demolishing a mosque?
Well, this happened in the Yunnan province, and these are visuals, or these are details from the 27th of May, where what the Hui Muslims believe is a historic mosque. The dome of that mosque was attempted to be destroyed by the Chinese police amidst heavy police security and opposition, and the Hui Muslims and the Chinese police clashed. The Najiyang Mosque is supposed to be historic, built around the time of the Ming dynasty, but the Chinese authorities believe that this has been built on illegal land and unauthorized land, and that's why they wanted to destroy this. So that's where these clashes happened. There have been multiple reports that have emanated from the Xinjiang province of the New Territory, as the Chinese calls it, or the CCP call it. They call it Xinjiang, which means the New Territory, but which is actually East Turkmenistan. And this is the land of the Uyghurs, and the Uyghurs have claimed massive ethnic cleansing and demographic genocide, which is also being attempted there to cleanse the entire land of any Muslim population, Uyghur Muslim population, or to convert them into the Chinese way, the Han Chinese ways. So these are allegations and these are claims that have been made for many years now, for more than a decade. Ever since the CCP and the PLA have intensified their operations, and they have acquired huge swaths of land to build many strategic defense facilities, and also in the name of building connectivity, they're actually fortressing and increasing their presence on the western part of China, or this new territory, so that they can train their guns on lands which are in the neighboring region, including Russia, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and of course the borders with Afghanistan, India. So that's why this new territory has been very strongly been populated, and also the attempt to try and change the demographics. The reports about the conditioning camps in these regions are immense. There are Uyghur Congress, the World Uyghur Congress has published reports which has been upheld by various forums across the world, be it in Europe or in America, where the claims have been that this is not the first mosque, but there are at least thousands of mosques which have been destroyed, religious places that have been then converted into public utilities, or how we know them as in India, Sulabh Shauchalayas. So that's what they have turned these places of prayer to. And these are the claims that have been made by the Uyghurs. We're hoping that we have Abdul Hakim Idris, Uyghur writer, also would be joining us to tell us more. But here on CNN News 18, multiple times we have brought to the fore the atrocities on the Uyghurs being perpetrated by the PLA and the CCP. And we have had Uyghur leaders who have urged the world to take cognizance and to hold China accountable. In fact, many Uyghur leaders and also the World Uyghur Congress president had laughed and scoffed at the irony of it all, that China was sitting at the chair of UNHRC when it itself was culpable and guilty of destroying thousands of lives, if not millions. and this is perhaps the latest in a long chapter. Now, Abdul Hakim Idris is with us at this point. Namaste and good morning, but not a very good morning, Abdul Hakim Idris, with what has happened in the Yunnan province with the Naijiang Mosque.
Yes, unfortunately, the Chinese Islamophobia is not just in East Turkestan, it's overall in China. As you know, a Chinese Communist government already destroyed 6,800, more than 6,800 mosques in East Turkestan, and many mosques in Ningxia Huizhou Autonomous Region in the Lanzhou area, where the Hui Muslims are. Right now, there are demolition mosques in Yunnan province. The Islamophobia in China is enabled and supported by the state. The genocidal and the repressive policy of the Chinese regime in East Turkestan are the most measures, destroying thousands of mosques in Turkestan, claiming Islam is a mental illness. And the Uyghur Muslims are being infected by this illness, and those should be cured by eradicating their religion from their lives. And many Muslims around the world think Islamophobia just confined in the West. China never come their Muslim leaders or scholars' mind when the Islamophobia is discussed. In fact, China is the most Islamophobic country in the world today. The critical difference between Islamophobia in China and the rest of the world, the Islamophobia in China is deeply rooted and sponsored by the state, unfortunately. The Islamic world is failed to speak against this Islamophobia in East Turkestan, against Islamophobia in the Lanzhou Huizhou Autonomous Region. Right now, they are seeing in Yunnan province, this mosque is survived cultural revolution, Mao era cultural revolution, 1960s and 70s, and today Xi Jinping is attacking this mosque, and it means Xi Jinping is worse than Mao Zedong, but the world that doesn't recognize this danger.
But Mr. Idris, the Chinese are claiming, while the Hui Muslims and the claim is that this is a historic mosque, the Chinese are claiming that this is being built on illegal land. What's the story of the Naijiang Mosque?
The mosque is built 300 years before the Chinese Communist Party ever came in the power. At that